It's been another 2 days since the last update. This is partly because the project I've been working on recently has kept me quite busy. Secondly, I've been occupied with the artwork, which turned out to be a bit more complicated than I had anticipated. I wanted to get the visuals to a reasonably polished state, something presentable enough to share before posting an update, which is why another 2 days have gone by. Well, here it is. All of the artwork was generated using Codex. Some of the results turned out great, while others didn't quite meet my expectations. Furthermore, the final images still required some cropping and resizing in Photoshop, so the whole process ended up taking a fair amount of time. Take the conveyor belt animation here. For instance, the 3 images generated as separate segments cannot be seamlessly stitched together. Manual adjustments are still required afterwards. Regarding the energy bottle here, originally, I intended to create an 8-frame animation rotating on a vertical axis. However, the AI kept glitching at 1 or 2 specific angles. In the end, I had to settle for having it simply flicker in a fixed position. However, for designs involving a unified style such as single images, AI handles the task very well. Overall, to date, AI has generated 100% of the code. The auto assets are roughly 70% complete, specifically the parts that programmers would never be able to execute well themselves. The remaining grunt work is manageable. We have ended up with art assets that are perhaps a 50 to 60 point of usable, certainly, but far from exquisite. The tentative conclusion is that programmers could potentially be replaced by AI by over 90%, whereas artists, for the time being, cannot be. Of course, if a professional artist were to take charge of directing the AI, the conclusion might very well be the opposite. We still need to wait a bit longer. Even more powerful AI tools for both programming and art are bound to emerge. Later on, I'll be adding sound effects to this game and tweaking a few artistic details, then finishing up the website's functionality. The website component will be handled by AI. But the other 2 tasks are manual grunt work, so I'll just be taking my time with them. Once everything is ready, I'll release the next video.